Welcome to CFO Chronicles, the secrets behind success. The go-to podcast for fractional CFOs and accounting firm owners who want to attract more high-paying clients and increase their revenue. Hosted by James Donovan from 92 Media. This podcast dives into marketing strategies specifically designed for lead generation and client acquisition. In each episode, you'll hear from industry leaders sharing their success stories and expert tactics to help you sign more lucrative clients and grow your business. Tune in and discover actionable insights to transform your marketing efforts and boost your bottom line.
Today we're joined by Marta Grumberg from Grumberg Accounting out of Charlotte, North Carolina. Marta, I'm so excited to have you on the show, hear a little bit more about how you're helping bars and restaurants grow their firms. Welcome to the show. Tell us a little bit about some of the clients that you're working with right now.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. So we have been in the industry for the past 10 years. And for the last few years, we concentrate only on the food industry. It's bars, caterings, and restaurants. We provide them with a full cycle bookkeeping. We call it like inside joke, hands-free. It's a hands-free bookkeeping. You do the minimum, we do the rest. Without tiring our customers with multiple emails and bugging them when they're busy. We provide a full cycle service with analysis and consulting and help with the state communication, sales tax, everything they need.
You're the takeout food of the restaurant industry or of the accounting industry or the restaurant industry. Yeah. You're doing it all. They just have to eat. They just have to do the bare minimum.
They have to answer my call, my email once in a while.
Why the restaurant industry or why the food industry?
It's interesting. When we started, we covered all the industries, of course, that we are capable and able to do. But within the time, we noticed that we had more clients of the food industry and we love them. It might be traveling back to the past when we owned a restaurant, a small restaurant many years ago. So maybe the passion stayed with us and the interest stayed with us, but we just love it. We love the food industry. We love their businesses. We love the guys that we work with. So it's kind of just work out its own way. And also with the time that during the time we were working with them, we also noticed the highlights of the industry, the struggles, and all the features that they need. So it made us to research more and concentrate more on the food industry.
That's cool. And you mentioned just before we got on here recording that I believe the business started in Boston before you made your way south to North Carolina. Did I hear that properly?
Yes. We used to live in Boston many years, and we started the business, like I mentioned, more than 10 years ago. So we relocated to Charlotte 4 years ago and carried with us the business.
And were you able to bring a lot of your clients from Boston? Or like, are you working with people nationwide now, or was there an impact on the business making that move?
Yes, we work nationwide, and no, we didn't have any. Okay. Especially, it was during COVID and everything kind of, we always work remotely, but COVID made it very common and very popular. So it's something that I'm very proud about our business, that we get the client stay with us and very loyal.
Yeah, awesome. What are some of the success stories that stand out for you with some of your clients that you're very proud of?
I'm very proud of the customer service we're able to provide our customers, because with the food industry and with restaurant owners and managers, it's a struggle because they're very busy. They hate the paperwork. It's very hard for them to sit down and work on long tasks. So I'm very proud of the customer service we provide them, because it's easy for them to work with them, and we have a great relationship, good communication. That's on this level. Without success stories, let me think what was great. I think COVID. Now, when you mention it, I think COVID, because during COVID, when COVID started, it was very scary time for the food industry. The feeling in there was that it's all going to crash and we're all done, and people are going to lose their restaurants, their businesses, and they will need to reinvent themselves from the beginning. But if you were fast enough and smart enough and follow the regulations and all the funds that were released, you were able to save your customers. And I think I'm very proud that we saved all of them. We had not even, I'm trying to think if we had anybody, no one went out of the business because of COVID.
That's awesome.
For sure. We were on top of the reports. You had to file the reports. You had to do all the paperwork for the PPP reliefs, and then make sure that you're on top of the schedule to make sure it's all subsidized. So it was a huge project, and I'm very proud to say that it all worked out well.
That's great. Those are huge wins. Were you able to help your clients out with the employee retention tax credit? I know you mentioned PPE. Were you able to help get them
Yes.
to take advantage of that program?
Yes, we did all of it. Yeah, we stayed we did research morning and evening, sometimes 3 times a day, because it was changing so fast, especially with the PPP, but with the tax refund. So, yes.
What are some of the big wins from ERC that you're able to help your clients with? Because I would guess, without knowing, there must have been a couple businesses maybe close to having to close their doors, and through your team and your expertise, getting them access to PPE or access to the ERC, I'm sure it turned their business around.
Yes, we had a business. It's interesting. I can't even explain how did it work. We had one of the restaurants. It was fairly new, and it was struggling. It was struggling a little bit. They kind of were breaking even, but sometimes less. And then COVID came, and both of us were talking about it, like, oh my God, what a horrible timing. This bunch of partners invested all their money in that. And now COVID is here. Nobody knows what to do. It was back in Massachusetts. Everything was closing very fast. And so we were able to file for PPP for them. And the second they opened the doors, the success that hit them, it was amazing. I don't know, call it karma, call it money brings money, whatever it was. And they did a good recovery. It's hard to call it recovery because they were fairly new, but they hit success after that.
That's
Good
awesome.
energy, I guess.
Yeah. Good energy, good vibes. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Marta, tell me a little bit about how your firm gets in front of new clients. How do people find out about you as the go-to accounting firm for restaurants and bars?
So in the beginning, it was very minimum of advertisement, and most of it was referrals and recommendations. Because the food industry struggled very much to find not just a service, to find a partner, somebody to be there for you and with you, people were just telling their friends. They all hang out together in the industry, and they were telling their friends. And then we kind of were full and happy with what we had. And now recently I decided, so I own an MBA and I went to school for all those interesting things. And I was like, why don't I try I'll go back and try my marketing skills. And I decided to go there on social media, LinkedIn, Instagram, what else? Yeah, most of it social media. We do some traditional advertisement now also, but less of that, the flyers and the traditional.
Okay, cool. And when you mention social media, or is it a lot more organic posting that you're doing, content creation, or are you more on the paid advertisements side of things?
No, I started with the content creation and organic, and we'll see what it brings.
Okay. And there's a lot of firm owners who probably feel, content creation isn't as much for the accounting firm. That's for the influencers who are on TikTok. What's I guess, how do you go about creating content from the owner of an accounting firm to attract new clients?
Because I'm very oriented on the food industry, and I know my market segment, I talk to the bars and restaurant owners and managers. It's not about accounting. It's about having a good partner with you. You can find million people that do accounting, very smart, very following the rules, on top of their things. They don't understand the industry. They don't understand the vibe. They don't understand the people that they work with. they don't understand the small things that make change and make difference. So I target people from the food industry, and I talk about what's important for them.
Yeah, it's so
Not
good.
just boring accounting. I'm trying to think out of the box.
Yeah, yeah, of course. You're being the doctor that pushes on the bruise. You're actually speaking to the problems that they're going through.
Exactly, yes.
Yeah, cool. What are your take or what's your take on paid advertisement? So you're doing a lot of organic stuff, it sounds like right now. It sounds like it's working. Is paid advertisement something that you want to explore, or you're kind of sticking with the organic stuff right now?
I will definitely explore it at some point. Um, Maybe not right now. Um, we were just discussing it, and I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, yeah, interesting. What's a lesson or like a situation you've had to overcome now as a business owner for the last handful of years that was really difficult at the time, but now that you're on the other side of it, it's really shaped who you and your business are.
I think it's hard to make a change, and I've made it twice. It's very hard to decide to start a business and start it. It's very slow. It's very demanding. It's very hard to find your niche and find who you are and what do you want to do, and how to differentiate yourself from the rest of the market. And in some point, I also had a break from the business and explore some corporate life. And the second time was to go back and reinvent myself again. Um, it's difficult, but it's worth it because the level of how much you can push yourself and explore yourself and get to know yourself better is just I can't explain with enough words how much you learn about yourself during this journey. It's never boring. It's always interactive. I work with my husband, so double it. Most of the families won't survive that. Um, so it's very challenging, but on the other hand, it's very interesting and it's very dynamic.
So good. We've had a couple of guests on and we speak to a lot of firms who they work with their spouse. A lot of people have said, that can be a very challenging thing to do. A lot of people say it's great. How do you find the balance with your spouse for, all right, this is work and this is not work, or does it blend a lot?
Well, it's our second round because we owned the restaurant when we were very young before we got married, and we got married during all this build a business. So I guess that we got all the lessons then. But no, we separate. So he works on his clients, I work on my clients. We discuss some mutual things like marketing strategies or financial strategies and goals. But we definitely separated because we have very different energy and dynamics and way of working.
That,
But generally, we discuss the business goals and the organization environment and the structure because we have a very special structure in our organization. It's different from what usually people do, because usually people go want to manage their business, and they have workers and employees that they manage. So in our case, we keep the communication. It's like the other side around. We keep the communication on our hands, and then we delegate everything around. So we make it work, I guess. We
that's
have,
cool.
yeah,
That's
somehow it
awesome.
works.
Somehow it works. Um,
No, I'm kidding. It works well.
yeah, no, that's great. What's next for Grumberg Accounting?
Next is developing the food industry and getting bigger, helping more, onboarding more food industry clients, helping them with technology, with software, integrating, working on procedures, maybe hire a bigger team in the future. I don't know. We have a small team right now, but probably somehow like that. And building strong communication and strong networking community around the food industry, accounting businesses. because usually those that serve the food industry, they serve other industries too. And it's hard sometimes for the food industry, for the owners and managers.
Last question for you, Marta. What's one piece of advice you'd give to other business owners?
Don't be afraid to change and evolve. I think that's what keeps many people push them back, holds them back. Because change is hard for everybody. Some do change and some people don't. So usually in most cases, those that don't afraid to change and adjust, they develop, evolve, and progress. I think that's the biggest lesson that I learned over the past 10 years. Not to be afraid to explore new areas and change and adjust.
That's so powerful. How can everyone continue the conversation with you after listening to this podcast? Where can they get in touch with you?
So on our website, it's grumbergaccounting.com. Over the social media, we're on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. Look for us, Grumberg Accounting.
Perfect. Well, I hope people reach out, continue the conversation with you, Marta. Thank you so much for sharing your unique insight and a little bit more about your story. Really appreciate you coming on and taking this time.
Thank you for having me. Thank you. It was great.
Thanks for tuning in to this episode of CFO Chronicles, the secrets behind success. I hope you found value in today's conversation. As we wrap up, I'd love for you to do two things. First, make sure to subscribe to this podcast so you don't miss any future episodes. If you enjoyed today's discussion, please rate and review the show. It helps others discover the insights we share here. Second, if you're ready to take your business to the next level and attract the high-end clients you deserve, head over to accountingleadsnow.com or click the link in the show notes to book your strategy call. It's time to position yourself as the advisor your clients need. And don't forget, you can connect with me on LinkedIn to stay up to date on what's happening in the world of accounting and financial growth. We've got exciting topics coming up, so stay tuned for the next episode of CFO Chronicles. Until then, keep pushing forward. Your growth is just one strategic move away.
Thanks for listening to CFO Chronicles, the secrets behind success. We hope today's episode provided valuable strategies to help you attract more high-paying clients. Be sure to subscribe, follow, and share with fellow professionals. Connect with us on LinkedIn and leave a review or comment to join the conversation. Your feedback helps us bring you the best insights in finance and marketing. Until next time, keep striving for success and unlocking your business's potential.